right. So, hey, everybody. Welcome to DeDe's Dope Podcast. It's DeDe in the morning. You guys know me every morning. You hear me on the radio all over the country. And I appreciate you listening. But I really appreciate you listening and watching my podcast, DeDe's Dope Podcast. We're in season 2. We stepped up. You guys see this, right? The set is beautiful. I got a real producer. Shouts out to my producer, Nicole Andrew. Hey, we'll talk about that at the end about Nicole because she's starting her big business. Okay, anyways. First of all, let me just say, I'm happy this woman is here. And she's laughing already because she could already tell this is not normal. It's not overly formal. We're going to have a good time. Y'all know her as that actress, Terri J. Vaughn is here.
As that actress.
That actress. That one
as
that
opposed to the other one.
Yeah, that one that we know. We've been watching for years. You know what's so crazy? It's funny because we were in the back and I was getting some makeup done and the lady was doing my makeup and when she saw you, all of a sudden she finally felt comfortable enough to tell you, I watched the Steve Harvey show for years. You get that all the time, don't you?
I do.
Does it bother you?
No.
Really?
Absolutely not. No. That was my gift to the world and I'm happy the world is enjoying it.
Do you ever feel like you were, because of it, did it stop you from going further in Hollywood because people saw you only as that one character because it was so popular?
You know what? I don't know if that's what's happened. I can just say that I never felt like that happened. Right when I finished the Steve Harvey show, my very next gig was Soul Food in a completely different kind of character. Shout out to Felicia Henderson for hiring me for that gig because it was really cool because that's what people kept saying. Oh, you're going to be typecast. You're not going to be able. And she came in right away and gave me a completely different kind of role.
So can I tell you in defense of that, right? Because people will say that if you're a character, it's like a Kramer that was on Seinfeld. You've made such an impact, which really is a testament to your talent, to your ability, to your charisma, to your, it's a testament to who you are. People don't give, I think, actors who are able to do that credit where you've owned that character so much. And I'm just saying, I'm giving you your flowers
because I agree.
Isn't that something that's a testament to who you are? And so I think that's so cool that, and I look at that and everybody remembers you as that character. And we just love when you said, Sadie.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. And I feel the same way. It's just, they want you to do your best, do the best job. And you do the best job and then you're punished for it afterwards.
Right. But I got to say, it's so great, too, that you accept when the fans come up to you. Because there are some actors I had heard that hated that. When people would come up to me or fans would associate them with that one character, they would get mad. And you don't. You embrace it.
I don't, because I just feel like that there was just so many blessings for me personally with that time of my life, with that character, that show, that cast.
Good for you.
That I can't be mad.
See,
I can't.
I like you. Let me tell you why I like that. There are so many people who don't understand there is a time and a place and everything else, and you have to give thanks to that time and place.
Absolutely.
And it may not have been perfect, but it worked and it did something for you and it catapulted your career or it did something. And you were able to say that time. What about you and Steve Harvey? Are you guys good friends? Do you guys still talk?
I don't see Steve often, but when we do, it's all love. It's still the same old Steve, same old advice, same old wisecracking, shit talking Steve Harvey.
Yeah. When you see Steve today and what he's accomplished, did you think, and did you see that back then in him?
No. I remember when we were doing the Steve Harvey show and he had first started doing morning radio. I can't remember what season we were in when he started doing it. But, that was a big deal. So I had no idea he would go on to do all of this. But
isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's great to watch. I tell somebody, honestly, it's really great to watch Steve because, I've known Steve for years. We all have known him, you, of course. And I remember him before he even did the Steve Harvey show coming into radio stations and just, being this comedian, owning I remember watching him in Dallas where he had owned a comedy club.
Yeah.
And then he would come in and he would do radio. And to watch him now, to see where he is, you're like, wow, we watched this man become a superstar. It's what I said about Beyonce one day. I told somebody, instead of us sitting here debating this and tearing her apart, what we've been able to watch, which has been the most beautiful thing, is we watched this girl become a global superstar. We watched her be this teenager in Destiny's Child to where she is today. We got to witness it. What a blessing, right? When you really look at it, it's like,
use
in
that
real time
to be inspired by, somebody actually did this.
And we got to watch it.
Yes. Yes.
We should learn from it.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Black women in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Man. Black people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right? Is it changed? Because a lot of times people always say, there were no roles for Black women. There were no roles for Black people. Like, has it changed in Hollywood?
I think that the nature of our business has changed. So it has opened up different kind of opportunities and different kinds of doors. Are the powers that be writing more stuff for us? I don't think so, but I think that we are creating more stuff for ourselves and we have more avenues to put those things in place. So I think that's what's shifted and changed more for our benefit. It's just us taking more control and having more opportunities to get stuff done.
I love that. What about this actors strike?
How does sucks.
How does it affect you and how is it affecting people? I don't think a lot of us know.
Well, it's the writer strike and the actors are on strike and our business is shut down. I mean, there were 3 gigs I was signed on to do this year, and all of them are shut down. That affects me. That affects my household. That affects, how I move and what I can do. And so it's affecting all of us and it's personal.
Yeah. What is the fight over? If there's somebody that's listening or watching, a lot of them didn't understand. What was the fight or what is the fight over?
Updating the contracts to be more efficient for how the business is now with the streaming services and AI coming into effect. We need to shift our contracts. We're working off contracts that were dated before streaming.
Got it. Okay. And so you're not getting, a lot of times actors and writers aren't getting the money benefited from the streaming. Are you guys nervous? Do you think anybody's nervous about this? Because I even said, somebody asked me and I go, golly, the timing is just can I be honest with you? The timing for me, when I look at it from the outside looking in, and really I've been paying attention to this AI. AI now and the writing, it's taking over. They said it could take over news, the writing for news. They were saying that they were thinking about using AI to finish certain scripts I was reading in Hollywood, right? And they're going to use it to, and I went, is this the right time to strike as a writer then? When you have an AI that they're really eyeing to do, you get what I'm saying? They're now able to create people on screen. Yeah. You know what I mean? I went, is this the right timing right now for the actors?
I don't think there is a right or wrong time. It's the moment that we're in and we have to fight for what's right, or else we just keep staying in the same situation another 5-10 years from now. And who wants to do that? Yeah. It's like, you just have to take a stand at some point and not be afraid of that no. We are in a business of hearing no all the time. I hear more no's even when we are working. I hear more no's than I hear yes all day, every day. Mm-hmm. So I think knowing the power of your no, knowing the power of your talent, you have to bank on yourself. And so, no, I don't think it's the wrong time for a strike. I think that we're in it, so it's time for it.
You just said something that I thought about when you just said the no, right? Dang, you guys got to have a lot of tough skin as an actor and actress, right? Because before you even got the Steve Harvey, that big, because would you say that was your big break?
Yes.
Before that, you had a lot of no's, I take it.
Yeah, and after that.
She said and after that.
And last week.
Really?
I mean, and you're all the time.
How do you get down when you hear that? Or are you just kind of like, oh, here we go? Just wasn't for me.
Sometimes, I think many years ago, I think it was more disheartening. And then you just learn that that's a part of the journey. You let those no's fuel you. And you just find a way to deal with it. You surround yourself around good people. You stay spiritually grounded, whatever your, spirituality is. And at least that is what it is for me. That's the only way I can deal because no hurts a lot.
You know what it is? I think you also have a real life.
Oh,
that's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
Because that right there centers and grounds you.
Yes.
If your acting and your career was the only thing you had,
yes.
I guess you would take it to heart a little bit more. But you have a full life.
a full life.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the blessings in my full life, of course, it keeps me going. But sometimes it makes those no's hurt a little bit more because, we work so hard at our craft of, I don't even want to go into what it takes to be an actor and how we prepare to do that. But what I will say is that we give ourselves in everything that we do in this craft. When you see us, that's a part of ourselves. When we're shedding tears, that's coming from something real. So all that stuff we put on the line, and then you get told no. And that just doesn't feel good. But you got to find a way, because in this business, you're going to get way more no's than you get a yes. And sometimes those no's, they affect our pocketbooks. And so having a family, sometimes a specific no can be like, I needed that yes because this bill or this school or this something. But faith goes a long way.
I know it. I love that. Can I tell you what else you just made me think about? And I often tell this to people from doing what I do. So, I do a morning show.
Yep.
And we're on from 4 to 10 almost. And people will say to me later on, like, you want to go hang? Because you just made me think about something. And I'll say, no, I gave up a lot of energy this morning. I'm good.
Yes.
And people don't understand it's a lot of energy to do what you do. Yeah. And so to get in there and to prepare for an audition, to put all your all into it, whether it's tears, that's energy that you've expended, right? And you're just like, and then when you get that no, I'm sure you're like, oh, because I just used a lot of my energy for this. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I always tell people this, and whether or not, we say energy is transferable, right? People like to say, I believe that too, that, you'll see somebody and you go, I love their vibe. Yeah. I like their energy. Yeah. You can feel people's energy sometimes when they walk in the room. And I was telling somebody that I said, but energy is, it's transferable, but also energy is energy. And even though nobody has given it back to me in the morning, I'm still giving this much energy that I'm off. I'm tired. I can't give any more.
You're exhausted. And so going back to what you said of, yes, putting all this energy and in the, your adrenaline gets up and you do the audition and then when you finish it, it's like, and then you get the no and it's like, and then it's still, mommy, I need this, I need that.
And then guess what you do? More energy.
You gotta get that energy back up. So like, it is a blessing to do, but it is, it's tiring. It's
so
exhausting.
You're a mom.
Yeah.
You're an actress because you're on a show. My producer was telling me about it. Nicole was telling me about it. And she said, it sounds like it's really, really good.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Johnson.
Johnson. I want to see that. Yeah. What's it on?
It's on Bounce.
Okay.
On Bounce.
How long you been doing it?
I did 2 seasons. I was on last season and now I'm on this new 3rd season.
So you do this, you're acting, and you're also behind the scenes now too.
Yeah.
You're directing?
Okay. And producing.
How you end up in that? How'd you do it? Like, what was it? Well, you've always wanted to do it?
How I got into producing first was after I finished working on All of Us. The business just shifted.
Get that check coming in. She said, all of us, and this, and come on now, get that check.
Well, they're not there anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
But after that show went down, the business shifted. I think there was a strike. There was a writer's strike, and reality TV came in, right? So at that time, I was like, there wasn't a lot of auditions for us, for Black women, and I was like, I want to be a part of the solution. I want to work. I have so many friends that want to work, and we're all like super talented, and there's no reason for us not to be. Right. And so we started a production company, me and my producing partner, Cass Sears. She's a writer.
Okay.
And we started the production company as a way to create content for us.
Okay.
So that was the reason for the production company. Directing came years later after I moved here to Atlanta. I started teaching acting school because I wanted the base of talent here. If I was going to be living here, I wanted to up the talent. I wanted to kind of pour into young aspiring actors what I have been taught through my years in LA. So in doing that, I think that's where the directing bug came in. Working with actors, doing scene study classes. And so we had this really low budget movie that we were producing. Yeah, you gotta say it like that.
I love it.
It was really low budget movie that we were producing, but it was super fun. It was like a hood comedy, like a Friday. It was called #Digital Lives Matter, and it starred all this new talent, fresh new talent, social media influencers, DC Young Fly, B Simone. So this is before
all of this.
They were where they are now, and so we were doing this movie, and I was like, you know, we couldn't really afford to hire a director. So I was like, well, I've been working with young talent. I've been directing them in their scenes. I can do this. And it's hood.
You got
it. I got this. And it's a comedy. Oh, I got this. So it's a hood comedy with new actors. Boom. Perfect sauce. So I directed that project. And from that project, everything else just
started coming.
Yep.
Isn't that great? I told somebody this recently. I was out of this brunch with these ladies. They wanted me to speak. And I said, sometimes you got to take one step backwards in order to take two forward.
Yeah.
You did that. And it just catapulted you into a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? Some people have said, what are you doing? You're this big time actress and you're doing this. How are you playing with them and directing? You get what I'm saying? But look what it led to. And some people don't understand that. Right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to do those things and then eventually it just blossoms and it takes off.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that in Hollywood, the casting couch. You ever had to endure that? Anybody ever?
I only had one situation that was.
Was it bad? Can you talk about it? You don't say no names.
No, it didn't get bad because it just wasn't me.
But it was. But you were propositioned.
Oh yes, totally.
That really happens. The casting couch is real in Hollywood.
Totally, and I didn't know that it was real. I had only heard about it until that one fateful day.
And they asked you to do what?
Oh, we're going to sleep together, right?
That's what they said.
And I was meeting with them
about a gig.
They were about management.
And they said, we're going to sleep together. I know you were like, I know we're not.
I was like, well, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And I just never went back.
Yeah. You're better than me.
Had
I been younger and not married, I would have been like, are they cute? No, I'm joking. Yeah, and what I get ready to do.
Right.
What
when
role?
You say we're going to sleep together. Now, what does that equate to?
And does that mean that if we're going to do the Martin Luther King movie, am I going to play Martin?
Right.
I get the top role if I sleep.
Right.
I don't even want to play Coretta. I want Martin's role if I sleep with you. And especially if it was Harvey Weinstein, because I saw him, I was like, if I had to sleep with him, I want every role in Hollywood.
Okay.
God dang it.
All right.
Okay, but anyways.
And back in on everything.
So is that something that a lot of women talked about in Hollywood? Or is that just one of those secrets when you got there, nobody ever said anything? Or did you guys, you female actresses, did everybody kind of talk about this and get together and go, this happened to you, this, or no?
No,
it was
because I don't know how prevalent it was for my peers. It just wasn't really a thing until that happened to me. And I definitely didn't bite my tongue about it, but I also didn't want to. I chose not to make a deal of it because the connections of this person, I just felt like it wasn't worth it. I didn't want to. You know what?
I think every business has its ills almost, right?
Yeah.
Every one of them. And everybody wants to try to pull the scab off it or say this is what it is. Sometimes some of us also know it's there and we make sure we avoid those traps.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
To be honest and to be fair, I've heard about the casting couch for real since we were kids watching Marilyn Monroe movies.
Yeah.
So you already knew, because I remember saying to my mama, "Oh, mama, I want to go to Hollywood." And she go, "Be prepared to sleep with somebody."
That is hilarious.
They got the casting couch. I was like, "Really, mama? What that couch look like, though?"
Oh. See, no, because I guess because there's those of us that are just really there because we love this shit. We love the craft. We love what we give, and we love what we get. And it's it really feels like a purpose. I know I'm living in my purpose. I know that, like the makeup artist, I know that brings joy to her life, just laughter. So I know the power of what we do. And so that's what really keeps me going. And so and then there's some people that get into it just for the fame of it. And to me, that's a different lane. That's where the casting couches and all that stuff gets accepted to me.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, people that feel pure about the art like I do haven't been in those situations and maybe haven't taken advantage of those situations. I don't know.
Right.
But I feel like when you're in it for the fame of it, there are just things that you sacrifice that somebody that's a purist, that's not a part of it.
So how long have you been married?
15 years.
Dang.
I know. Crazy.
Girl.
I don't know how. Don't tell me. Don't ask
I was getting ready to ask.
I don't know.
I mean, like,
it happened.
Okay, 15 years. And you moved out of Hollywood. Did you guys ever live in Hollywood?
No. So I was married before.
Okay.
And that was in Hollywood.
How long were you married the first time?
For like 5 years before
you like
divorce.
good long-term relationships. Aren't you wonderful?
I'm I know.
Yeah, I know it. You were never a hoe, I see.
Well, you
like relationships. Look, she said.
Well,
I love it.
That is why, really, in my first marriage, I was like, you need to get your ass married because.
Oh, okay,
get married.
Gotcha.
Find somebody, choose somebody.
Hey, that was
married.
me. That's me with my husband now. I was like, let me stop because I've been out here too long. Do you want to get married? Because if I get one more boyfriend, they're gonna talk about me.
Yes. So did that, and so that marriage didn't last, and then so now my husband that I've been married to now for 15 years, he was actually living in Atlanta, and I was living in LA. When we started dating, I did. And so I moved.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so wonderful.
Yep.
Was that a big step for you? I mean, you were like,
it's huge.
I know
but you know what? I've always been like a butterfly. I don't, wherever the wind tells me I'm supposed to go, I don't have a gripe of going. I'm not attached to a place. And I don't know. That's just been me. So, so the move for me, I got a lot of warnings from my friends like, oh, you're going to mess up your career. You're going to miss out on all the opportunities. You're going to miss out on auditions. And some of that did happen, but I love my life.
Yeah.
I love my life.
And those who were saying that, and let's think about, is there somebody now, let's say that you started in Hollywood with them, and you don't have to say, again, I'm not trying to talk about other actresses, but you started with them, you chose this path and you came to Atlanta, got married, had your family, and they stayed in Hollywood and they didn't. Are there any friends like that you look at and go, and see, you're still doing the same thing or it didn't?
Sure.
So are you happy now that when you think about it, you look at them and you go, I'm so happy
totally.
I moved.
Yes. Look, I was taught a long time ago. I had a really great acting teacher. I had several acting teachers, but this one of the best advice she gave our class was, do not put your life on hold for the business. Live your life. Have kids, be married, travel, take advantage of other opportunities, because what our craft requires is for us to pull on experiences to put into our characters. If you live such a small boxed life of only this business, I feel like you weaken your instrument. You weaken your experiences to pour into other characters, to relate to stories and whatnot. So that was great advice. And plus, just you gotta have something else besides the business. Cannot be your life.
Right. You gotta have something else that defines you, that matters to you. Yeah.
Yes.
That's I wonder if people knew this about you. You're so deep. Like you're much more deep. Yes. And you're just so wonderful, like and cool. Like you're one of those kind of people who go, I want her to come over and have drinks when we have a great talk or something. Like you're fun. I can tell you get
coming over, DeDe.
Come on, we're gonna drink. We'll drink out of these red cups, girl. Drink some dang. What are we drinking? Mimosas. And have us a good old ass talk. So now what do you got? You got to go home. You got to make dinner for the husband. You make dinner every night.
So I cook pretty much every night, but this is the funny thing. I know people are surprised that I cook. I cook.
Do y'all sit down? Hold on a second. Wait, how many kids you got?
No.
How many kids?
Everybody's all over the place eating.
You have two. How many kids? Two, three?
Three.
You have 3 kids?
Yeah, but one of them, he's 22.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
You do not have it. Look how loud I am. You got a 22-year-old.
I do.
You don't even look like it.
Yes.
I love us as black women. Black
Me
don't
too.
crack. Black
Isn't
don't
it
crack.
Okay,
Man.
let me just share this story.
Damn it. You ain't cracked not all.
This just recently happened, like 2 days ago. I went for an eye exam.
Mm. Oh,
and the doctor comes in, and she's of aged white woman.
Uh-huh.
And she's telling me about, my birthday's coming up, and this is the big one. It's the big 50. And I was like, been there, done that. And she was like,
no, I'm like her. Hold on. I just went, what?
Like, what? She was like, no. She was like, you're not. And I was like, some years ago, I was. And she was like, no way. And when I walked out of there and I was like, oh my God, I thought that woman was like 60 years old.
She wasn't?
She was.
Oh yeah, she's gonna hit the big 50.
50 was on her birthday this weekend. I literally thought she was like 60.
Girl, ain't that something?
I'm not going to talk about that.
We're blessed, aren't we? Is that something?
But it did. I was like, this black is just,
Isn't it
just
something?
Luxurious.
Ain't it?
Yes.
Golly,
I love it.
We never knew this about us at times, right? People didn't want us to know this about us.
I love it.
But I love it. I'm so proud of that. Well, listen, I'm not going to keep you long because I always have this thing. I love the fact that you took time out of your day to come down and hang out with me. Before you go,
yes,
want you to tell everybody what makes Terri J. Vaughn so dope. What makes you so dope, you think? She's like,
oh, damn.
Because guess why?
That's a tough question.
Because guess why? Because you really have to talk about yourself. And I can tell you're not a person that would do that, huh? You're not caught up in yourself.
The only thing that came up is how I make you feel.
Oh, that's great.
I think that always makes me feel good. That makes me feel dope. Like I get so many of those kind of comments. Like the things that you say.
Because you're great.
Like that.
Yeah, because you're so great though. You have a great energy and spirit about you that is so beautiful.
The fact that you feel that, that makes me dope.
That's so true. Girl.
That's what I say.
All right, we're done.
Yay,
everybody,
cheers.
Terri J. Vaughn.
Cheers to the red cup.
Yeah. Okay, before you go, just do this. 15 seconds of fame.
Oh, God.
Plug everything you got. 15 seconds, plug.
Well, we're on a strike, so
plug your Instagram, how they follow you. You also you and your daughter have a candle company.
Yeah. See? Okay, the pressure. Okay. So my daughter and I, she's 8. We're starting a candle company. It's called Liddy by Lola.
Oh, I love it.
It will be liddybylola.com. Don't go yet. I don't know when this is airing. I don't know. Give me a beat. We just started this. So we're doing that. I do have a Christmas movie that I directed for BET that's airing this holiday season with Tashina Arnold and Tammy Roman. It's so funny. Jack Gay.
Oh, I love
Harry's in it and Michael Collier. It's hilarious.
Love it.
It's called So Fly Christmas. That is going to air.
Go ahead, girl.
And 2 episodes of Kingdom Business that I directed is going to air this season with the strike. I don't know when the stuff is airing, but that is also will be airing on BET. Kingdom Business, Yolanda Adams, Michael Beach, a bunch of fabulous people.
With the directing, real quick, what's your ultimate goal with it? Do you want to direct a feature film? Is there a certain project you want?
I love romantic comedy. I love buddy comedy, like chick buddy comedies. That's my lane. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people happy. I want to deliver messages, inspire people with the undertone of comedy.
I love it. Well, cheers to you.
Cheers.
Everybody, make sure you support and go follow Terri J. Vaughn. She is the woman. I love it. Thank you for being a guest on DeDe's Dope Podcast. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, DeDe.
All right, everybody. Till next week, DeDe's Dope Podcast. See you. Bye.
Wake up every day, put a smile on your face with DeDe's Dope Podcast.